Without interruption.
Tánaiste, are you in any way concerned at Minister Reilly's contempt for those who question him? That has to include, quite obviously, the former Junior Minister at the Department of Health, Deputy Roisin Shortall. It certainly includes opposition deputies whose responsibility it is to hold the Minister to account and to raise the appropriate issues. And now that contempt is also clearly held for the standing orders of this House. And indeed, despite, if not in spite of the Ceann Comhghair's efforts to compel the Minister to reply to a deputy and to reply appropriately. The Minister's attitude, I think, could be best summed up: how dare you question me? And I believe that that is nakedly exposed by his refusal to answer clear and concise questions and the obfuscation that he employs in the answers that he does give. The Minister last evening issued a further so-called reply to me following on the Ceann Comhghair's ruling yesterday that he was in breach of Standing Order 40A. Now that further reply oozes contempt, and I will be further referring the matter to the Ceann Comhghair today. And we have the further evidence this week of the Minister's arrogance in the report of his so-called meeting here in Leinster House, a meeting earlier this week with the founder and the principal of one of the country's foremost children's charities. And whatever one's view of what took place at this week's Public Accounts Committee, when the Secretary-General of the DOH and the Director-General Designate of the HSE appeared before that committee, there is undoubtedly a concern across all views in this chamber, a concern that I have heard expressed by all views across this chamber, that the engagement got off to a very bad and an unprecedented start. Given that the Minister for Health, Tánaiste, is the person who appoints the members of the new HSE Directorate, I'm concluding with this, Ceann Comhghair, including the Director-General, and the growing evidence of the Berlin Wall that he is building around himself, his department and the HSE, have you any concerns that only those already working in the HSE and already holding the grade of National Director can be considered for these crucial posts?
Thank you.
Should those opportunities not be open to public competition? And is the Minister really a fit person to make the judgment, to make the appointments, while he is obviously building defences around himself?
Thank you. Tánaiste.
When this government was formed, one of the things that we committed ourselves to was to operate in a transparent way to ensure that all ministers in the government are accountable to this House and through this House to the public. One of the reforms which we introduced, and against a background of many years of complaints, that there was an inadequate procedure here, that where a minister came in and didn't give a full reply, or where members of the opposition or the deputy asking the question wasn't satisfied about the reply, there was no recourse. And one of the things that we did was we introduced a new procedure, a new standing order, asked this House to agree it, that where a member of the House was not satisfied with a reply from a minister, that the member of the House could take that case to the Ceann Comhghair, and that the Ceann Comhghair could make a ruling on it. I'm glad that we did that. I'm glad that that new procedure is being used. I believe that that is the way. I believe that that is the best way and the most respectful way that this government can treat members of this House who have questions to answer. Every minister in this government is accountable to this Dáil, is accountable to the members of the Dáil, and is required to answer questions. And I hope, in fact, that the procedure that you have used, Deputy Ó Caoláin, in respect of your questions to the Minister for Health, will be used again by other members of this House, because we believe in accountability, and we believe in providing answers to questions. With regard to the Public Accounts Committee, may I just say this? The Public Accounts Committee is probably one of the most respected institutions in this country. It has a long record, and it has a long record of doing very fine work, because it operates, and has operated until now anyway, on a non-partisan basis. The procedure has been that a member of the opposition is appointed to chair that committee and to conduct the business of that committee in a non-partisan, all-party way, to hold individual departments, the accounting officers of departments and the accounting officers of public bodies to account for their financial management. All I will say about it, and I don't want to add to the controversy of the last couple of days about the conduct of business at the Public Accounts Committee, but I would simply say this, that I would appeal to all of those, including the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, to ensure that the Public Accounts Committee is not used in a partisan way, that the traditions of the Public Accounts Committee is used to deal with the matters of financial management that it is supposed to deal with, and I hope that that practice will be continued into the future.
Thank you, Taoiseach. Deputy
Attack it all.
Punish them.
Sorry, would you mind if Deputy Ó Caoláin asks a supplementary question, please, without interruption?
Punish them. I too have welcomed the standing order change. And when you speak about we in relation to ensuring that there is a mechanism there for members to compel ministers to reply, I want to say yes, and I welcome the ruling of the Caoimhghín Ó in that regard. But Taoiseach, when you say we welcome and we support, if you saw what Minister Reilly then offered me last evening on the back of the Caoimhghín Ó's decision, you would know that we does not apply to the Minister at the helm of the Health Department. I have it to say that it's a very, very serious matter indeed. And I would hope that it will be appropriately addressed, because what it underlines again for me, and that's why I highlighted among other matters this morning, is that Minister Reilly is not a fit person at the helm of the Health Department. That is just the bottom line. And I asked you in the course of my questions if you had any concerns in relation to the Minister's ongoing attitude, and to make no mistake, there are members in this House, including members of your own party, who view what happened to the Public Accounts Committee as indicative, as demonstrative of what is wrong at the helm of the Health Department itself, and that the Minister's own disposition permeates to all at the highest level within that department. I would ask you to note, Taoiseach, that we have reports this morning that there is growing disillusionment within your own party at Minister Reilly's continued stewardship of the Health Department. That is real, and you cannot deny it, you can't hide or run away from it. It's real and it's there. And to recognise what is actually happening there, there is only a limited time frame in which you would have the opportunity to act as the leader of the Labour Party in this coalition. And before Minister Reilly completes the construction of the moat and bailey around himself and ensures that he will be beyond your reach in no time at all, I would urge you to take the appropriate action and to demand his removal forthwith.